Have you ever felt like you needed to get someone on board with an idea, but you were worried about coming across as pushy or even manipulative? Yeah, we've all been there. In today's world, it feels like everyone's trying to influence us, right? From catchy ads to those limited time offers that pop up everywhere. It's easy to get cynical and think that all persuasion is just a fancy word for manipulation. But what if I told you that there is a way to influence people ethically, in a way that actually feels good for everyone involved? That's right. We are talking about the art of true persuasion. It's about guiding people toward a decision that benefits them as much as it benefits you. It's about building genuine connections, understanding their needs, and showing them how your idea can help them achieve their goals. No sneaky tricks, no arm twisting, just honest, open communication. Hi, I'm Silke. If you are new to my channel, I'm a psychologist and life coach, and I make videos for handling typical social interactions. In this video, we are going to dive into some powerful techniques that will help you become a master of ethical persuasion. You learn how to communicate your ideas with confidence, build trust with others, and create win-win situations that leave everyone feeling happy and valued. So, if you are ready to unlock the power of influence without sacrificing your integrity, then grab a notebook, settle in, and let's get started. We'll start with the difference between persuasion and manipulation. Now, I know these two words often get thrown around like they're the same thing, but trust me, there is a huge difference. And understanding that difference is key to building strong relationships and achieving your goals the right way. Think about it. We all want to be influential, right? We want people to listen to our ideas, to get on board with our vision. But how do we do that without crossing the line into manipulation? That is the question we are going to answer today. So, what is the difference? Well, at its core, persuasion is about guiding someone toward a conclusion through facts, logic, and genuine connection. It's about presenting your ideas in a way that resonates with them, addressing their concerns, and showing them how your proposal benefits them. It's a collaborative process where everyone feels heard and respected. Manipulation, on the other hand, uses deceit, trickery, and emotional tactics to achieve the same end. It's about exploiting someone's vulnerabilities, twisting the truth, or even outright lying to get what you want. Manipulation is a win-lose game, and it always leaves someone feeling used and resentful. The line between persuasion and manipulation can often blur, so it's important to be aware of the tactics involved. Ask yourself, am I being transparent? Am I respecting the other person's autonomy? Am I genuinely trying to create a mutually beneficial outcome? If the answer to any of these questions is no, then you might be veering into manipulative territory. Now, let's talk about one of the most important ingredients in ethical persuasion: credibility. Think of credibility as the foundation upon which all your persuasive efforts are built. If people don't trust you, they're not going to listen to what you have to say, no matter how brilliant your ideas are. So, how do you build credibility? Well, it starts with being honest and transparent. Be upfront about your intentions and always back up your claims with solid evidence. Don't make promises you can't keep, and be willing to admit when you're wrong. Another key to building credibility is to listen actively to others. Show them that you genuinely care about their perspectives and that you are willing to consider their points of view. When people feel heard and understood, they're much more likely to trust you and be open to your ideas. Ultimately, true persuasion is about building genuine relationships, fostering trust, and creating win-win situations. It's about influencing others in a way that feels good for everyone involved. So, next time you're trying to persuade someone, remember to focus on facts, logic, and transparency. Build credibility by being honest and listening actively, and always strive to create a mutually beneficial outcome. All right, that should be enough about the difference between persuasion and manipulation. Let's now move on to our next video part, which is all about techniques for ethical persuasion. Now, I know the word persuasion can sometimes have a negative connotation, but it really just means influencing others in a positive and respectful way. And let's be honest, we all need to be persuasive at some point, whether it's convincing your team to adopt a new strategy, negotiating a deal, or even just getting your kids to eat their vegetables. So, how do you become more persuasive without resorting to manipulation or being a jerk? That's what we are going to unpack today. I'm going to share some practical techniques that you can use to ethically influence others and achieve your goals with integrity. First up, understand your audience. This is absolutely fundamental. Think about it. You wouldn't try to sell ice to an Eskimo, right? Well, the same principle applies to persuasion. You need to tailor your message to resonate with the values, beliefs, and needs of the people you are trying to influence. Do your research. What are their concerns? What motivates them? What are their hot buttons? The more you understand your audience, the better you'll be able to craft a message that speaks directly to them. For example, if you are trying to persuade your boss to invest in a new piece of technology, focus on how it will improve efficiency, reduce costs, and boost the company's bottom line. Next, use evidence and logic. This is where you really build your credibility. Persuasion is most effective when it's backed by strong, relevant evidence. Don't just make assertions. Back them up with facts, data, statistics, and examples. Present your arguments in a logical and coherent way, guiding others to a reasoned conclusion. Think like Sherlock Holmes. Lay out the clues and let people arrive at the solution themselves. Now, let's talk about the power of building emotional connections. Logic is important, but emotions are what really drive decisions. Connecting emotionally with your audience can make your message more compelling and more memorable. Share stories, use vivid language, and appeal to their values and aspirations. But here's the key. You need to do this authentically. Don't try to manipulate people's emotions or exploit their vulnerabilities. Instead, focus on building genuine connections based on empathy and understanding. Let them know you care. As I always say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Finally, let's talk about the role of reciprocity. This is one of the most potent principles of persuasion, and it's based on the simple idea that when you give something of value to someone, they feel compelled to return the favor. This is a powerful way to create a natural pathway for influence. Think about it. If you do a favor for someone, they're more likely to be receptive to your requests in the future. Offer help, share resources, provide valuable information, or simply be a good listener. By giving generously, you'll build goodwill and create a sense of obligation that can pave the way for ethical persuasion. So there you have it, 4 powerful techniques for ethical persuasion. Understand your audience, use evidence and logic, build emotional connections, and leverage the power of reciprocity. Remember, persuasion is about building relationships, fostering trust, and creating win-win situations. All right, we've talked a lot about some core techniques for ethical persuasion that are timeless, really. But the world keeps changing, right? And that means the way we persuade people has to adapt too. So let's talk about some key trends in persuasion for 2025. The big one, and I'm sure it's no surprise, is the rise of AI and digital tools. I mean, AI is everywhere these days, right? And it's definitely making its mark on the world of persuasion. Think about it. AI can analyze massive amounts of data to understand audience preferences, tailor messages, and even predict how people will react to different arguments. Now, this is powerful stuff, but it also comes with a huge responsibility. We need to make sure we are using AI ethically and responsibly, and not just as a tool for manipulation. Because honestly, people can spot that a mile away, right? So, how can we use AI ethically in persuasion? Well, one way is to use it to personalize messages in a way that's actually helpful and relevant to the audience. For example, instead of sending out generic marketing emails, we can use AI to create personalized recommendations based on a customer's past purchases and browsing history. But here's the thing, personalization alone is not enough. People are increasingly craving authenticity. In a world of fake news and digital manipulation, people are longing for genuine connections and transparent communication. They want to know that they are dealing with real people who have real values and real intentions. So, how do you build authenticity in your persuasive messages? Well, one way is to be transparent about your motives and about your goals. Don't try to hide anything or mislead your audience. Instead, be upfront about what you're trying to achieve and why. Another way to build authenticity is to share your own stories and experiences. People connect with stories and they're more likely to trust someone who's willing to be vulnerable and share their own struggles and triumphs. I always find that when I open up about my own challenges, it helps people connect with me on a deeper level. And that brings us actually to the next big trend, empathy and understanding. This is really the heart of ethical persuasion. The focus is shifting from trying to win arguments to trying to understand the other person's perspective and finding common ground. Empathy is about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing the world from their point of view. It's about listening actively, asking thoughtful questions, and showing genuine concern for their well being. When you approach persuasion with empathy, you're not trying to force your ideas on someone. You are trying to collaborate with them to find a solution that works for everyone. So in 2025, persuasion is less about slick sales tactics and more about building genuine connections, fostering trust, and understanding the other person's perspective. It's about using AI and digital tools to personalize messages in a way that's actually helpful and relevant, while always prioritizing authenticity and transparency. And that's it for our outlook at persuasion trends for 2025. I hope this has given you some food for thought and some practical ideas for how to ethically influence others in the years to come. Remember, persuasion is a skill that anyone can learn and improve with practice. All right, let's wrap it all up, short and sweet. So, when it comes to persuasion, remember it's all about influencing others with integrity and respect. Build your credibility, use solid logic, and really get to know your audience. That way, you are persuading, not manipulating, right? And as things change, sticking to your ethics isn't just going to make you more influential, it's going to build trust and lasting relationships. So go ahead, try these techniques out and become a persuasion pro in this ever-changing world. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. Perhaps you will also like my other videos and shorts about communication here on YouTube. You'll find all the links in the description. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you won't miss any of my future new videos. If you subscribe to my channel, it's a free way to support me and it helps me make more helpful content for you. Thank you so much for watching and I will catch you in my next video.